Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share with you updates on my front garden refresh project. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I will post a link to the video where I show you what I was doing with my existing yew shrub. I have two really big yew shrubs in the front garden. They have been on my property for the longest time, I think over 20 years, if not more. And they are massive. They are at least, I would say, 6 to 7 feet wide and just as much tall. They are probably 5.5 feet tall. So they have been kind of like a structure in my front garden for the longest time. They line my porch area, and what I liked about them is that they did give me privacy, right? So when you're sitting on the porch, you're not thinking so much about it because they gave me privacy. But what I didn't like about them is that I couldn't see. Like last year, I started changing my front garden a lot. I created a new bed. And then I realized that I wasn't able to see any of it because of these large yew shrubs. And so I started thinking about, removing one of them and seeing if that was going to make a difference. And as I thought about removing it, there was a bit of fear and hesitation in me. If you're like me, you get comfortable looking at something for the longest time, you feel like you cannot do without it. And that's what I felt. I felt like, it was something that I was going to ruin, or if I cut it back, I was going to regret it. So I kind of toyed with that idea all winter, and I kind of thought about it deeply. And I realized that if I didn't make a change with the shrub, I would be stuck, right? So what I did was, as step one, I started cutting it right at the bottom. The one shrub that I was willing to sacrifice and willing to remove completely. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to try removing a piece of it and see how I feel. So I just removed a couple of the branches at the base. So I knew that was a point of no return. I'd already altered the shrub from its pruned state, where it was like pruned like a box pretty much, that I had altered it, and it was never going to be what it was before. So it was like ripping a band-aid off of my comfort zone. And once I did that, I wasn't so afraid anymore. I kept looking at it for a week, and I said, you know what, I can prune it in a way where it can either look great aesthetically, or I will hate it and I will remove it anyways. So I had nothing to lose, so I give that a chance. I started pruning it, and I shared that with you in my previous video. And honestly, a week later, I feel amazing that I did make that change, because it has opened up so much space in my front yard. I'm able to put in a walkway that I was always dreaming about. So I picked up these flagstones from somebody who didn't want them in their backyard, and they didn't cost me anything, just a little bit of labor to go pick them up. And once I started placing them in between these two yew shrubs, one of them I have pruned, and the other one I haven't done anything to it. And I'm still debating if I need to prune it in the same way, or I can leave it to offer me that privacy. Just by changing one of them has changed everything for me. And moving the boxwood that was sandwiched between these two yews to the other side has also created a lot more space for me. So in this video, I will show you what I've started to do with those stones, and also the difference it's made just in the space and the visual feel. It has changed it for me. And I think the point I'm trying to make is that I was very afraid to make that change, and I know a lot of you out there might be in the same boat as me, where you are looking at something for the longest time, and you feel that is such a structural part of your garden, and it's almost as difficult to change it and reimagine it. What I did was I started small, and I absorbed that change, and I built from there, and that really helped me overcome that fear. And if you're like me, maybe it'll help you to make this change in your garden, or inspire you if there is something you've been thinking about doing and not able to do because you're afraid to make that change. I would say make that change, because plants are just, you know, you will always find something else if you were to make that change to kind of try out and play with. And just by making that change, I have so many ideas in my head that I wanted to do in my front garden, and they are slowly coming to life. And I know as the weeks progress, I'm only going to make this garden better, and be able to try new things and plant new things in my garden. So so in this video, I'm going to share with you a few updates that I'm making to my front garden, and this is going to be a multi-part project. I am going to do it in small steps, and I'm going to share with you the changes that I'm making as I go, and I hope you find this useful. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do consider subscribing, because I do post regularly about gardening and plants, and I am going to be posting more regularly in the spring, because I will have lots to share with you. And if you want to follow me along, I would love that if you could be part of my community, and we could, you know, help each other by our ideas and our creation. And it's just a joy to share that with all of you. So without further delay, I'm going to share with you the progress I've made, and I would love to hear from you what you think about the changes I've made, because it's very inspiring to hear from all of you. And please do also hit the like button, and if you've liked this video and if you found this useful. Thank you again so much for watching this video and following me on my channel. Here it is. I wanted to show you the path that I started to create, and this is from my last video. You'll remember that I did prune this yew shrub quite drastically to expose its lower limbs, and there was a boxwood over here sandwiched between these yew shrubs. And if you remember from that video, if you haven't seen that video, the yew shrub looked exactly like this one on this side, and I was able to completely expose its trunks and kind of give it more like a tree form. And I then started laying out these stones I got from a friend of mine who was giving them away for free. And yeah, I was able to pick these up and use them in my bed. Initially, my thought was to kind of have this path go down all the way, but as I was laying these stones, I am kind of playing with the idea of having it more focused around this area, and kind of lead into this my front garden, and have my beds around this. So right now, as you can see, my beds are quite a bit further out, and I'm planning to extend them along this pathway here, and kind of go around and kind of close in over here. And I would probably do the same thing on this side. I would extend them out and then kind of close in over here, and then end off here with a longer. This side is, I mean, both sides are not equal. This side is much deeper than the other side, so I will kind of create more of a bank here and end off here, and that way I'll have a nice opening here, and this whole middle section would then be grass. And I also have an arbor in mind that I have already picked up, and I might attach it somewhere here, you know, where the path ends, as kind of like an archway into my front entrance and porch, and then also coming outwards towards this whole garden area. So that was my plan. Initially, I was going to put the arch at the end of this border over here, but I think I might just leave this part more open, for a lot of logistics, easier to mow, and just in general, as I go through this process. And if I find that I want the arch here, I might move it, But I think as I laid down the stones, I kind of like how it's concentrated and how chunky this path is over here. And my plan is not to put rocks in the middle of this. I'm not sure yet. I might grow some things in the middle over here, like creeping thyme or something along those lines, but I am still deciding on what I'm doing with this path and how I'm going next with it. So far this is how it's shaping up. This is how it's come along, and this is the boxwood that I moved on this side. It looks happy in this spot. It's going to get a lot of sun from all sides, and I'm hoping that I will get to prune it today, and it's going to start to fill out on the sides. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to prune these this boxwood, and I actually started putting some of these rocks around here. My plan is to create a little rock garden here with succulents just as it trails off on this edge. I might put some grasses and I might put some succulents in here. So that's what I'm planning to do with this spot. And then, as I showed you, I have a bunch of hydrangeas here which I want to move before they start waking up into their new homes, and they will take home somewhere along this border. I want to move them out of this driveway spot because a lot of snow gets dumped on them and a lot of the branches were broken this year, and I don't want that happening. And considering they were just planted last year, they aren't really that well established in their spots. So that is what I'm planning to do. And I'm also going to actually add 3 or 4 stepping stones kind of things to kind of walk into the garden from this driveway point, and I might do the same on that side just to access the garden in the back a little bit easier. So it's just things to keep in mind when you are creating beds. Is the access into the beds is important, especially if they are deep beds. Like these beds are quite deep, so for me to kind of work on it or get inside the bed, it's going to be easier if I have a little bit of a pathway into it. And the same on that side, like for me to get in the back there, because I do have a huge bed in the back over there, and for me to get in there, I kind of want to leave a little bit of an access point for that. So yeah, this is what the front garden is looking like today, and I just wanted to take you along and show you. I'm actually loving how this looks. It's actually opened up my porch quite a bit, just having these stones here. Hey Ollie, hi Ollie, hi baby. He's sitting here and enjoying the day. It's been raining all day yesterday, and today it's quite a bit chilly, but it's not raining, and it's a good day to get some work done. So yeah, I'm loving that. And what I'm going to do on this side is right now is replace this trellis here. I picked up a couple of new trellises from the garden center yesterday, and I'm going to put them up here before this rose starts to leaf out, and I'm going to try to attach the rose to the new trellises. And I also have a clematis there that I will also have to gently move and attach it to the new trellis. So that's the plan. So that's what I'm going to tackle next, and I'll show you once I have put the new trellises in. And I'm also going to redo this part. I'm going to remove it because the trellises are significantly taller, and I'll find a new home for that as well. So that's the plan. Let me get to work with this, and then I will show you the progress as I come along. I wanted to show you the old trellis is out, and I have these new trellises that I'm going to be putting there. I have 2 of them. They are significantly taller, and I think they will go a little bit above the fence, which is nice because I want that. And I think they will look really nice in that spot. For now, I've temporarily moved these pots over here, and I'm going to get these in the ground, and I'll show you what this looks like. The rose here isn't that big yet, so it was easy for me to pull it get rid of the old one. And that's another thing, if you have a climbing rose, it's good to have a good structure in place. Like I didn't have a good structure in place with it, and I'm kind of glad that I am doing it now before it's too late, before this rose grows a lot. So I'm happy that I'm addressing it now, and this can kind of be its permanent home, and it can start really growing on the trellis. So this rose will be in its 3rd year this year, so I'm expecting it to take off more than it did last year. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get these in place, and I'll show you what this looks like once those are put in the ground. So here it is. I wanted to show you what this looks like when I'm all done. Actually, the trellis goes quite a bit higher than my fence, which I really like, because as the rose starts to climb and fill in, it's going to look really beautiful from both sides, and that way it has some support to kind of arch over and go over this fence. And I tried to tie the canes. I have 3 really strong canes on this shrub, so I tied them off to the trellis, and I also have a clematis there, which I think will find its way when it's ready to grow, so I'm not too worried about that one. And I think I really like how this looks. I am not sure if I would need a 3rd one. I'm gonna wait and see how these plants fill in. I might go and pick up a 3rd one just so that I have a matching one in case I do need to add a 3rd one here. And if I need to do that, I can probably move this one over a little bit and then just move everything over and add a 3rd one. So I might do that just so that I don't have to do this process again, and it can just have this beautiful structure already in place. So yeah, that's the other thing I might do, is go and pick up another one. And other than that, I just wanted to show you this little project that I was doing this morning, and I also wanted to show you how the garden beds are shaping up and the redesign is coming along, and provide you with an update. So I just wanted to thank everyone for watching this video, and more to come from me on this project. And I will also create a playlist for this project so that you can watch all the videos in order. And yeah, if you are also trying to do some kind of redesigning in your front garden this year, or back garden, do let me know in comments. I find this process very exciting and very iterative. It's not like a one thing that you just do. You kind of build on it, and then that's when new ideas come for me. I mean, I can plan all I want on paper, but when I'm actually in the garden, my ideas change, and that's the beauty of gardening. It's ever changing, and you can make it what you want it to be at any given time, and that's just the fun about gardening. And it's mainly your structural plants that you can't move that often, and it's important to understand what you want to do with those. And other than that, the perennials you can have fun with, you can play with them, you can add, you can move it to different parts of your garden, and it's exciting. Just to give you a little view from this end, all of these are roses on this side, and I love it. And I might add a few more roses in the front. I have a few David Austin roses that I've ordered, so I might add them in the front just to kind of accentuate this rose garden a little bit more. And then also maybe move some hydrangeas over on this side. So that's the plan. I mean, those are the thoughts, and they can change. I haven't decided yet on which way I want to go, and I do want to put something over there that is taller, a little bit taller, and it's kind of arching a little bit. So I have to find the right thing for that spot. I don't know yet what I'm going to put over there, but just ideas running through my head. And if you have any ideas for what I can do in that corner over there, do let me know in comments below. I will appreciate your thoughts and ideas. And one thought did come to my mind, that I could put a hydrangea standard. I don't want to kind of put a tall tree there because I don't want to block the view completely. So something that would probably stay within the 10 to 15 feet height and not go taller than that. So lots of things to consider in that spot, but I just wanted to put that question out there. If you have any ideas for me, I would love that. So thank you again for watching this video, and I hope everyone has a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from.